Israeli elections here and are concerned that the leadership now, as before, are not aligned with American Jewry on main issues. Shira Ruderman, director of the Ruderman Family Foundation based in Boston, said that emphasis must be made not on political relationships, but one of shared values and heritage, and that Israeli leaders need to engage with the diaspora Jewry.
It was not the main topic in news here, not in the American Jewish community, or I'm talking about over the process of the elections, not result-wise, which obviously is covered. People were more patient to wait and see what will take place in Israel, where is Israeli politics is going towards, which I think the American Jewish community over the past few years made it very clear that they, seeking to see some change, not just in leadership, but in views and more diverse and more engagement with them. So it was a long process for American Jewry to wait and see how these elections will come about.
But Shira, when you look at the blue and white results, it shows that Bibi's Israel, Netanyahu's Israel, is not the only one of Israel that exists. There is another Israel here. So diaspora Jews must identify with that.
I think that it's true what you're saying, that Israel is beyond the political leadership. I think it's very clear, especially when we see trends in American Jewry over the years that are seeking for more people-to-people relationship and more connection directly to either cities, institutions, and individuals versus just political leadership. In the same time, it will be fair to say that Israel represents the homeland of the Jewish people and not just the citizens of Israel. We need to form a process of engagement and opportunities for create conversations and exchange, which is beyond the people to people, which is about the leadership. And therefore, this is why it's extremely important. The second aspect, which is as important, is the domestic politics within the U.S. I think that is very known based on data that we all know. American Jewry in its majority is leaning to the liberal, to the Democrats, which the current president is Republican, very close to our prime minister, very in favor of Israel, which no one will disagree. But the gap between their choice as an American citizen to their commitment to Israel is not being reflected in who is the leader that they want. This is another factor that caused, either the gap, or people like to use the word crisis, which I personally don't like, between American Jewry to our leadership. And I personally believe that is, no matter who is our prime minister, any prime minister of the State of Israel should be responsible to engage with American Jewry and create opportunities and bridges for ongoing partnership and not just support on one deal or one crisis.
Surveys show that Israelis, 95% of Israelis they value the diaspora relations with Israel. But when they look at most American Jews, like you say, they don't vote pro-Israel. They're anti-Trump. They're for social justice, pro-choice. And so Israelis are a bit baffled perhaps by that they feel that, Trump has been good for Israel, and people probably don't understand that. Maybe that's causing a little bit of this schism.
It's definitely one of the reasons that there is a major gap and challenge between us, but it's also needed to be remembered and known that American citizen is not just voting, and maybe this is where it's the difficulty that we as Israelis face, not just choosing his next senator, next congresspeople, or next president by how they're going to be towards Israel. It's also by how they're going to be as our leaders domestically, based on the issues that you mentioned, which are social justice and employment and economics and many other, and this does not always go together.
A lot of people had expectations of a change in this elections, and it looks like it's not going to be a change. It's going to be more of the same. How's that going to affect relations, you think?
I think it's an excellent question. I think that it's obvious, and everyone will be respectful. This is the votes that Israelis and we all voted in our ways. And it's one message that it's clear that, you know, the leadership and the political group that is strong and dominant is not necessarily aligned with American Jewry on many issues. And this makes it even more, I think, crucial for us as the State of Israel to make it clear that our relationship with American Jewry is not based on political views. It's based on values, heritage, history, and common goals for the future, which we have, and we need to define some of them. And this is on our leadership of today that was elected to execute, because we have to separate the political issues that are domestic issues for the State of Israel to our role and goal to maintain to be a Jewish homeland for all Jews, and what does it mean and how does it look like it's in their responsibility.
Shira Ruderman, director of the Ruderman Family Foundation. Coming up, the landing of the Bereshit Israeli spacecraft on the moon.